Back in the shop, back on the Bobcat t-250. We're going to place the drive belt. Stick around. I tore this thing down in the last video because I had to put a rear main seal in it, and now I've got a new drive belt to put on it. And according to the book, we loosen this spring. I didn't do that when I took it off. Loosen this spring that holds the idler down, and then we loosen this stop here and back this stop off. Then we go ahead and slip the belt on. Then we tighten the tension spring back up and then push this stop up against the idler. I'm going to loosen that up now, and maybe we can get this belt on here. A 3/4 inch socket fits it. That may be loosened all the way up. Or this ain't turning one. Let's see if I can get my camera set up here. Okay, we've got the cover back on the engine. Got the battery tray bolted in. I had to put some different bolts in it because those were kind of rotted out. And now I want to try to get this air breather thing welded up. I got it all cleaned up over here. It's got a big crack in it right here. I want to try to put a weld on it. Put a couple welds over here. And then this little bracket. This little bracket goes on here with the slot facing down. I'd love to be able to get them rivets back in the original spot. I don't think that's going to happen. Gotta get as close as I can. I'm not even got my camera on it. Gotta get as close as I can on here. Doesn't seem like it would go there, but I know it don't go this way because the slot goes down. Definitely not that way. Well, I'm going to try to put a few tacks on here and then grind it down, and then I'm just going to weld this along the edge where I think that it needs to go. We'll be back. And set the shop on fire. Just trying to, I got a few tacks in, but it's so thin over here. And I turned the welder down as low as I could get it. Still just melt right through. There's really nothing there. One little crack down here. I'm going to put a couple tacks on. And I'm going to grind this smooth and go ahead and put my other part on, as long as I don't burn the shop down. Well, here it is welded up. I'm not a great welder, but I am a good grinder. So one helps and cancels out the other, I guess. There it is. The air box is back in. The little bolts are in behind it. The bracket, everything's solid. When I first got this thing, this is all wire tied on. It was just barely hanging on here. And the hose is all lined back up right. The intake hose and the one that goes to the turbocharger, they lined up perfectly. Clamps are back on. Now it's time to put the filter back in. The little wing nut's broken. There's the inner. Let's see if it'll go back in. Top of something in there. Oh, it's all the way in. So much for that. How about the big filter? I knocked it out a little bit. It's got a little, I'm guessing that inner wing nut goes on that inner filter. If I'm wrong, somebody will tell me. But it sure fits in there better that way. And this one's made on it. I guess this holds the other filter in. Well, there it is. The exhaust is in. We can call this one done, at least as far as the engine goes. That should take care of our charge pressure problem. That should take care of our fountain of oil that we had down here. The breather housing is welded back together and put back in like factory, like it should be. And it's got new exhaust. Now we didn't have to, I was going to try to repair the exhaust, but it's so rotten and the spark arrestor is gone, so it's kind of a fire hazard. And on these, if you've ever run one of these before, try to get where the light will shine, there's a nut in the bottom of it. And every now and then you're supposed to remove that nut and have somebody put a block of wood over this and rev it up, and it's supposed to blow all the soot and stuff out of your exhaust. A lot of people can't get the nut out and don't try. And over time, they'll just rot on the inside out. And this thing down in there somewhere should have a spark arrestor. And this is on the before side of the spark arrestor, so this should blow all your crud out, that little bolt right there. It's just like a drain is what it is, but it's for blowing the soot out. And these things do get sooted up. But it's on there, and it's ready to go. I don't like that it tilts towards the exhaust housing, but the exhaust housing is a little high, so maybe if it does get rain in it, I don't think it can get rain in it. this pointing this way. I think it'll be okay. Now comes the task of cleaning this horrible mess up. I had buckets and buckets of mud and grease that I got out of there, and it's still nasty. So I want to take this thing outside when it's not pouring rain or snow and clean it up and put a good coat of Bobcat charcoal on it and get it back looking nice. And I've got soot. This ain't grease, this is just soot I've got on everything. Everything in here is covered with soot from that exhaust leak. And I've got one corner I've got to grind off and finish. That should take care of it. That should take care of the engine part of it anyway. So, thanks guys for hanging out and watching. I do appreciate your company. There's lonely nights out here in the barn by yourself. But everybody, have a good night and stay clean. Thanks for watching, everybody.